News, a production of the United Veterans Organization of Nassau County. My name is Ed Allman. I'd like to thank Altice USA for providing the training for our crew and for the use of their studio facilities here in Hauppauge. The show is broadcast Mondays at 7:30 on Channel 20 and Fridays on Channel 115 in Nassau counties. It's also shown in various towns and villages throughout Nassau and Suffolk counties, and even in the state of New Hampshire. The show has been seen in the state of New Hampshire. In fact, we are shown in more places than we knew had public access TV. Thank you for whoever is responsible for spreading Veterans News. Most of all, I'd like to thank our crew. On camera 1, Jim Hessler. On camera 2, Al Zabrowski. On camera 3, Loretta DeBrino. Our technical director is Bob Lane. Our floor manager is Beverly Allman, and our director is Al Zabrowski. By the way, if you'd like to ask me a question or make a comment about the show, just email me at veteransnewsuvo@gmail.com. That's veteransnewsuvo@gmail.com. Our guest today is Fred SGANGA, the director of the Long Island State Veterans Home. We'll talk to our guest in a few minutes, but first let me remind you of the veterans who died recently. William Burke, World War II veteran of the 95th Infantry Division, known as the Iron Men of the Mets. Don Tamarez, a USMC veteran. Richard Doyle, redecorated veteran of the Korean War. Peter Bradley, a member of the American Legion, Post 1066 in Massapequa. Robert Barron, a proud Army veteran. George Arnold, a U.S. Marine who served during the Vietnam War. Joseph Papa, a Korean War Army veteran. Wallace Christensen, U.S. Navy veteran of World War II. Also from World War II, Edward Brown, an Army veteran. Adrian Marcus, a lieutenant in the U.S. Army Air Force, 18th Fighter Group, 13th Air Force. Joseph Verity, an anti-aircraft gunner during the Battle of the Bulge. Nat Busey, an Army lieutenant who served from 1949 to 1951. Barry Dennis, a retired Air Force lieutenant colonel. George Williams, a proud veteran paratrooper of the 82nd Airborne, U.S. Army. Robert Pearsons was commissioned a naval officer 2 days after he graduated from Cornell University. If you know a deceased veteran who you would like to hear mentioned on this part of the show, please email me at veteransnewsuvo@gmail.com. That's the end now. It's time for our guest. Hello, Fred.
Hey, Ed. How are you? Good to see you.
All right, Fred. Fred, this is the 4th time you've been on the show.
Yes, it has, Ed, and it's a pleasure to be back here with you.
Okay. I hope we can cover some new information.
Absolutely.
First of all, before we get into the script, what did you do for a living before you became the director? I know you were the director for 16 years?
Yeah, I've been at the Long Island State Veterans Home, which is on the campus of Stony Brook University. I began my career there back in 2001. Prior to that, I had worked in various different hospitals. So I was a hospital executive, and then I switched over to the long-term care environment.
Okay. Who did you replace? 2001 was the year I began working for Tom Swazi. So I should have known your...
Bernie Hirsch.
Bernie Hirsch.
Yep.
Can't remember him.
Okay.
Just forgot him.
Okay.
Was he an old-timer? Just retired?
Yeah, he's retired, and I think he's living in New Mexico right now.
Really?
Doing very well.
Okay.
Yep.
Where did you work before you...
So prior to arriving to the Long Island State Veterans Home, I was the president and CEO of a county hospital, a county facility in Bergen County, New Jersey. It was known as Bergen Regional Medical Center.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did that wasn't a state job?
That was in it was in the state of New Jersey, but it was a county facility.
Okay.
And it was operated by a private contractor. and I had the honor of being the CEO of that organization.
Really?
Yeah.
How did New York State grab you?
So that's a great question, Ed. As you know, the Long Island State Veterans Home is a 350-bed facility located on the campus of Stony Brook University. And to me, I was fascinated by the fact that the nursing home itself sat on the campus of Stony Brook University. So to have this great university here on Long Island with all its different academic opportunities,
Right.
and then to have a state veterans home sitting on that same campus, I was intrigued by that, and I took the interview, and lo and behold, they offered me the job, and it's been one of the best career moves I've ever made. And for myself, I'm not a veteran, but I'm a proud American, and I'm so grateful to have the honor to serve men and women whose personal sacrifice of military service has protected the freedoms we enjoy today. So,
Very good.
thank you.
Tell me about the relationship between the nursing home and the university.
Okay, so we've opened our doors back in 1991. We're in our 26th year of service here at the home. Over that time, we've served about 6,000 veterans from all branches of service. And back in the day, when Mario Cuomo was the governor, there was a commitment made to Long Island to build a veterans home on Long Island, and they had to come up with a location. They had thought about the VA hospital in Northport to put it at that location, and various other locations came up. But from a strategic point of view, they thought it would be wiser to put it out further east, and that's when Stony Brook came up. Stony Brook University has about 600 acres, so at the time in 1991, they carved out about 25 acres, and Stony Brook made a commitment to the veterans community of Long Island to have the home built on their campus, and then to subsequently run the home on behalf of veterans on Long Island.
The facility was built brand new, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, back in 1991, it was built from the ground up, and I want to put a shout out to Joe LaPietra, who recently retired as my Deputy Executive Director. Joe was responsible for the construction back in the day, and at the time, Ed, in 1991, it was considered state-of-the-art facility for veterans. The home is 25 years old, and I'm proud to announce through the efforts of a VA construction grant, we're currently renovating the entire home. It's
Really?
called Operation Rejuvenation, and all 350 beds are being upgraded, and all the rooms are being redone.
Yeah.
And it will, I mean, it's in great shape to begin with, but it's going to be in greater shape when we're done.
Yeah. As you know, I was a guest of your facility.
I remember that.
About 6 months. But I just remember it as a beautiful facility,
Yeah.
as brand new. And
Well, Ed, it gets a lot of use. I'd like you to know that one of the great things about our home is our occupancy rate. There are about 600 plus nursing homes in New York State. We were ranked #1 with the highest occupancy in the state.
Really?
Yeah, so our occupancy runs about 99.8%. But we do a lot of turnover, and we're a very busy place. And again, completely committed to the veteran population. So to come into the home, you have to be honorably discharged from military service. We can also take your wife or spouse, and we can also take your widow as well at the home.
Wow.
We also, through New York State law, we are also allowed to take Gold Star parents into the facility as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just want to tell everyone, I don't know which one you're watching, there you
Okay.
go, that although a phone number would be very important right
Yes.
now,
Okay.
we can't show you a phone number.
Okay.
There's a regulation against public access television and phone numbers, so I can't.
So I need to repeat it a couple of times.
Well, at the end of the show,
Okay.
the credits, during the credit season, your phone number will be blasted right across the screen.
Okay.
So I'm telling everyone to please watch the show till the end, because if you want to see a phone number, Fred's phone number will be right across the screen during the credits. But, so we won't say that phone number, the 1-800.
No, we have a great number. It's 631-444-VETS.
Vets.
So
right.
631-444-VETS or VETS.
Right. All right, but we won't say that because we can't say a
Okay.
phone number
All
on
right.
Good. Can you give me an overview of the State Veterans Home?
Sure. So In our country, the State Veterans Home program in the United States of America is the oldest partnership between the federal government and the states in the history of American government. So at the time that President Lincoln founded the VA, or the
Right.
Veterans Administration, he also founded the State Veterans Home program.
How did he do that?
Well, I wasn't there at the time because it was back in the 1800s.
Yeah.
But in addition to the VA, he established after the Civil War, he established the State Veterans Home program. Currently, in its current state, we're 153 homes in all 50 states, as well as the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico. For our veterans who are listening here in New York, we have 5 homes. We have the home in Stony Brook. There's also one in St. Albans, Queens, which helps.
St. Albans.
Right, that represents or services those veterans in the 5
Sure.
boroughs. We have a home in Hudson Valley called Montrose, so the
Right.
New York State Veterans Home in Montrose. And then we have 2 homes way upstate, one in Batavia, New York, and one in Oxford, New York.
Those are all the same locations where the VA has a facility.
Yes, some are and some aren't. Yeah,
Okay.
you're correct. If you have listeners from Jersey, there are 3 homes in New Jersey, Edison, New Jersey, Vineland, New Jersey, and Paramus, New Jersey. Also for our listeners in Connecticut, there's a home in Rocky Hill, Connecticut as well. And I know you mentioned New Hampshire earlier.
Right.
There is a State Veterans Home in New Hampshire as well.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, our show is seen up in New Hampshire. I have no idea how it gets there, but I was told from a veteran from Syosset American Legion who moved up to New Hampshire that he watches the show regularly.
That's great.
Okay. I'd like you to tell the public what the difference between your facility is and the VA.
Okay, so we are not part of the VA, so the State Veterans Home is not part of the VA, but Ed, we receive funding from the VA. So in a way, every year we receive grant monies to help make the home what it is. We're different than the nursing home, regular nursing homes down the street, if I can get into that a little bit. And I think, bottom line for our veterans listening today, that if you need long-term care, a state veterans home represents the best possibility or best deal for a veteran living on Long Island. I want your viewers to know that we do short-term rehabilitation. So if you're a veteran who's contemplating hip replacement or knee replacement, or maybe you have planned or unplanned open heart surgery, and your doctor says to you, you need to get some short-term rehabilitation, we want people to know that the Long Island State Veterans Home, or veterans should know that we should be their first choice. We also do traditional long-term care. We also do Alzheimer dementia care. And Ed, with the veteran population living longer and getting older, we tend to see more dementia now ever before than prior. So if you have a loved one who is an honorably discharged veteran and is suffering from Alzheimer's or dementia, please consider us to provide that care. Lastly, we also we seem to have, Ed, nationwide, more World War II veterans than our peers at other state veterans homes around the country. And I want to let you know, and I want the audience to know, that we have wonderful palliative care services, better known as end-of-life services. So right now, our World War II generation is kind of like in their mid-90s. And if families are struggling to take care of a loved one at home, and it might be an end-of-life situation, we're very proud to care for those veterans as well in our home.
Okay. Who is eligible to use the nursing home?
Great question.
Is it just disabled veterans?
No. So the way it works in New York State, if you are an honorably discharged veteran, you're entitled to use the home. It has nothing to do with service disability or anything like that. As long as you are honorably discharged from the Army, Navy, Marine Corps, Coast Guard, or Air Force, you are eligible to come into our home.
Do you have to be an active duty person?
Yes, active duty. So we get that all the time. You might have served in the Naval Reserves or the Army Reserves, but unfortunately in our state, if you were never activated, then you cannot come into the home.
Okay. And activated means that you served less than 90 days, isn't that correct?
Yeah, I mean, we've had veterans who we've taken care of. I don't know if you remember this, I'm going back in time, but there was a bunch of reservists who got activated for that one-day postal strike back in 1969.
Right.
As long as you were activated for that one day, that would make you eligible to come into the home.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
I hear from many veterans that were in the reserve and they were activated for 45 days, 60 days,
Yeah.
49 days, especially a lot. I mean, 89 days, just to keep them under that 90-day limit.
Right.
But in your situation, the
Yeah,
veteran need only be activated for one day?
That's correct.
Wow, that is a big benefit.
Yep.
And that's a benefit that I didn't know, and I'm sure most veterans didn't know about.
Right.
Very good.
Excellent.
What documents do you need to get in?
So when you come to the home, we have a great website, www.listateveteranshome.org. I mentioned that to your viewers because it has all our admissions criteria right on the website. We require what is known as our basic application. You can call our admissions office, we'll mail you one, or you can just download it from our website. Again, www.listateveteranshome.org. What you do is you can download the application, fill it out, fax it to us.
Right.
And that along with your DD-214, and our veteran population listening to the show knows what a DD-214 is.
Right.
That's your date of discharge paperwork.
Well, if you're a reservist, you don't have a DD-214,
Okay.
even if you served a day in the postal strike.
Okay. So we would get verification that you did serve
Right.
or active duty. So basically, we want to see that you are a veteran in good standing. And then if you fill out our application, that's great. Any kind of insurance information you might have. I'm sure many of your audience might have a Medicare card. Some may have a Medicaid card. Some might have private long-term care insurance. So anything related to the insurance portion of care, we would take that information as well.
Okay. I know you said this before, but what kind of services does the home provide?
Okay, so we want you to know that if you need short-term rehabilitation, where we should be your number one choice. We do traditional long-term care. We also do end-of-life care or palliative care. We also have a respiratory care unit. And while we don't provide ventilator care, if a veteran has a tracheostomy or has a need for 24-hour oxygen, our facility can accommodate that as well.
Very good.
Yeah. The other service that I'd like to mention is our medical model adult day health care program. Unfortunately, we don't come out to Nassau County. Our service or our medical model adult day health care program is limited to veterans living in Suffolk County, but it's a great program. It's a 6-day-a-week program. It operates from Monday through Saturday. We come to your home by ambulette. We'll pick you up. We'll bring you to the veterans home. We will supply you with breakfast and lunch. You'll get comprehensive nursing care. All your rehabilitation needs are met at the home. So if you need physical therapy or occupational therapy or speech therapy, we get that done right at the home. We provide complete dental services. We provide complete...
You provide dental services?
Yes, to people who are in the daycare program. So if you're in the daycare program, we do dental. We do audiology services.
I have to tell somebody I'm thinking of.
Okay.
He is an old guy who's probably in need of that kind of care, and he's just furious at the VA because they won't take care of his teeth because he wasn't hurt. His teeth weren't hurt in the war, so they won't touch his teeth.
Well, we get calls all the time, and we're very fortunate to have across the street from us the Stony Brook University School of Dental Medicine. And because of our relationship with Stony Brook and the School of Dental Medicine, if you're a resident of the home or you're a registrant in our daycare program, those two categories of veterans, we do take care of their dental needs on our campus.
The program of the daycare program.
Yeah.
That you won't go out beyond Suffolk County to pick somebody up, or you won't go east of...
Yeah, we kind of go from the Nassau-Suffolk border. So if a veteran listening today lives in Syosset, we could probably get him or her. And we don't go farther than Riverhead.
Okay.
And that's because regulation requires us to get the veteran to the program within a 1-hour drive time.
Would you take a veteran who provides his own transportation?
Yes, we would. Yes, we would.
So you can get into the adult daycare program.
Yep.
If you live in Nassau County.
If you provide
your own.
Yeah, if you provide your own transportation. And again, 631-444-VETS.
Yeah.
Give us a call.
But we won't mention the phone number
We
again.
will not.
No.
Okay.
But the phone number will be on the screen at the end of the show, so please take a look at that. The veterans cost. Are there any veterans benefits that'll help pay you?
Yes. So every veteran in your audience today should know that every honorably discharged veteran has a nursing home benefit. It's called the VA per diem. Every veteran who has been honorably discharged is entitled to $106.10 per day towards their care. The issue is that that dollar amount can only be used at a state veterans home. So I indicated 153 homes across our country, 5 in New York State, but that benefit of $106.10 can be used at the Long Island State Veterans Home. We also take other, you might have veterans in the audience now who are listening to the show who qualify for the AIDS and Attendance Program.
All right, before we get to the aid and attendance, the per
Okay.
diem, is the money go to the veteran or to the hospital?
It goes to the home.
To the home.
To be used for their care.
Right.
There's another
Okay.
program, Ed, which is very important, and any veteran in the audience today who is 70% or more service-connected disabled, these veterans are entitled to no-cost care at the Long Island State Veterans Home. So again, if you're a veteran in the audience and you're 70% or more service-connected disabled, should you need long-term care, you don't have to pay privately, nor do you have to go onto the Medicaid program. The VA will pay for your care in full. Now again, you must need nursing home care, but if you're in that category, it's no-cost care to our veterans. I can tell you as of today, we have about 58 veterans in this category.
58 out of 350?
50, yes, who fall into that category.
The category of aid and
70
attendance?
No, 70% or more service-connected disabled. Okay? Very important. If you're not sure where
Okay.
you are, give us a call. The VA has come out and said that even if you're less than 70%, but we can take your service-connected disability and connect it to why you might need nursing home care, the VA might also pay for that as well. So we might have in the audience today, Ed, someone who might be 30% service-connected disabled, but that specific disability might relate to the fact that they're in, they might need nursing home care. Give us a call. We'll sit down, we'll talk to you in our admissions office, and we'll see if we can get that care for you. A recent statistic I've heard also, Ed, is that for our Vietnam veterans out there, I want to say welcome home, but bigger than that, about 38% of our Vietnam veterans, Ed, fall into that category of 70% or more service-connected disabled.
38%?
That's correct. Of all Vietnam veterans who are alive today fall into that category. So I'm sure there's a lot of Vietnam vets out there who are listening to the show today. Should down the road you need long-term care, please make the Long Island State Veterans Home your first choice.
I am flabbergasted. You said 38%
Correct.
of the Vietnam vets
Alive today.
alive today, the vets
Yeah.
that actually went to Vietnam,
Yes,
or
sir.
that were just veterans
No, who went to
who
Vietnam.
went to Vietnam,
Right.
38% of them
Yep.
are 70% disabled?
Yeah, or more, as per VA statistics. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
I'm too healthy.
Yeah,
I
you're
don't
too healthy.
understand it.
Right.
Wow. That's a disturbing number.
Well, Ed, we're celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Vietnam War, and we're still paying for the ravages of the war.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you, I go to work every day, and I never, ever,
Wow.
ever take for granted what our brave men and women have done to protect the freedoms we enjoy today. But if you were exposed to Agent Orange in the Vietnam War,
Yeah.
there's a lot of chronic conditions that you might have, including diabetes, neurological disorders like Parkinson's or ALS. And the State Veterans Home Program wants to give back to those veterans whose personal sacrifice might have caused them some illness or injury, and we're ready to do that.
Wow. I just thought of something to ask you, and I don't know what it is. I know what it was
Sure.
about your phone number.
Okay.
I just want to remind you that we can't give your phone number again.
All right.
But the phone number will be on the screen at
Okay.
at the end of the show. Okay. How about a waiting list? Is there a waiting list for the?
So we do have a small waiting list at this time, and people ask us all the time, how do you prioritize veterans who need long-term care? First and foremost, if you're a veteran at a hospital, and that hospital could be here on Long Island, it could be in Manhattan or in the 5 boroughs. So those veterans who are being discharged from a hospital receive first priority. Our second priority would be those veterans who might have tried to get into the home, but we might not have had a bed on that day, and they might be in another nursing home. And right now there's about 65 different nursing homes on Long Island. We will take a transfer from another nursing home into our home. And then the third category is veterans who might be living at home. Best example I can give you is a veteran who might be living at home, being cared for by their family, who might have Alzheimer's or dementia. And now they need our specific Alzheimer dementia unit. We would take that veteran from their home where they're being cared for by their family.
Okay.
And I did want to mention one other benefit too. I think it's important for our veterans who are on the AIDS and Attendance program. When you get admitted into a nursing home anywhere, your AIDS and Attendance benefit is about $90 per month, and the veteran is free to use that money any way they want. But if we can get that same veteran to be transferred to the Long Island State Veterans Home, we bump that up from $90 a month to $716 a month. So there might be someone in your audience today who knows a veteran who's in a different nursing home, who's receiving the aid and attendance benefit of $90 a month. If we can get that veteran transferred to our facility, we can get that aids and attendance monthly benefit up to about $716 per month. And that veteran is free to use that money in any which way. He might need it for his spouse to pay rent. He might need it for his grandkids to help pay for college. But that's a very important entitlement that a lot of our veterans don't realize they have.
Okay. I'm a little confused by what you've said about money.
Okay. Call us.
Do you have a veterans counselor, somebody who can explain
Yes.
to a family what's entitled?
So we have a county veteran service officer from Suffolk County in our main lobby. His name is Mr. Gary Richard, and he does take in walk-ins from the community. So Suffolk County and the Long Island State Veterans Home have done a partnership, and we think we have one of the best county veteran service offices on Long Island located in our main lobby. He's there from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. We're on the campus of Stony Brook University at 100 Patriots Road.
Right.
But if we have a veteran in the audience who has to do a sit-down with a certified veteran service officer, we would welcome those veterans to come on in and meet with Gary Richard, who is our veterans counselor.
Your address is 100
Patriots
Road.
Yep.
The Suffolk County Veterans Service Agency is 100 Veterans Memorial Highway.
Correct, under the leadership of Tom Ronayne.
Tom Ronayne, right.
Right.
How about opportunities? Are there any employment opportunities at the VA?
That's a great...
Not at the VA, at the state,
Veterans
the Long
Home.
Island State Nursing Veterans Home.
We have great opportunities. We're always looking for great nurses, whether you're a registered nurse or an LPN, and you might have a desire to work with America's Heroes. Please give us a call in our Human Resources office. We also offer a Certified Nurses Aid training program. So if there's someone in the audience today who has a desire to maybe change careers or think about becoming a nurse, one of the best ways to find out is to take our Certified Nurses Aid program. And that program is offered twice a year. And any of your listeners can call us or go to our website, www.listateveteranshome.org, and get information about that.
Okay, very quickly, we have less than a minute left.
Okay.
Any volunteers, any opportunities
We
for
have-
volunteers?
Ed, we have 300 active volunteers right now. Most of them are veterans. And if you're interested in volunteering, give us a call. And again, we'll put you to work.
Thank you very much. Again, the phone number will appear on the screen in a couple of seconds. Please note the number and give us a call. Give Fred a call.
Give us a call. And thank you to our veterans for their service. And we're ready to pay you back if you should need long-term care. Don't hesitate to call the Long Island State Veterans Home at Stony Brook University.
Yeah, give them a call.